Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to the Cat King NMAT Thursdays session. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the most important thing is the new syllabus for NMAT 2020 exam. So, how do you get to know about the syllabus? I think you guys should refer to all the things which are available by NMAT by GMAC. We have the NMAT by GMAC official guide as well as the NMAT by GMAC mock which is launched. In fact, there was a separate video done on the NMAT by GMAT mock analysis. Make sure you guys check that up so that it helps you to prepare yourself for all the NMAT exams coming up further ahead from October. Okay, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the syllabus because there is a lot of change in the entire syllabus for NMAT. And when I compare it now with all the other exams like CAT, SNAP, there's going to be a stark difference in your preparation strategy as well. So please make sure you guys are taking notes of this video because this is going to define your preparation strategy for the next 3 months till you give the first to the third NMAT. So you can say the next 6 months. So this is very, very essential. Okay, so for people who have not yet understood that what is the difference, here's a quick 30 seconds overview of the change in the paper pattern. You have 108 questions, 120 minutes time, and this is going to be divided into 3 equal sections of 36 each, plus the advantage of getting the scale score within 48 hours. That means it's now an adaptive test which is based on your individual capabilities. It's not based on the relative grading and all of them. With every question, if you're able to solve, you will be given higher level of questions. If you're not able to solve that, then that comes as an understanding that this is your level. It's exactly as adaptive as your GMAT is. So, those questions of negative marking, normalization, all of those things should be parked aside right now. They are irrelevant for this year's NMAT pattern onwards. Okay, so please make sure you guys are keeping note of that and making sure you all don't fall into that trap of it. Just focus on aiming to get a good raw score. Okay, scaled score is something which you cannot predict. It's basis on the difficulty level set by the paper setters. So what I would suggest is every student who's sitting out here, your target is कि 108 questions जो हैं इसमें से I have to get 70% questions correct. All right, and you're going to have a cutoff for each one of them. So we'll talk about this in the next Thursday's session where I'll talk to you guys about what should be your expected target score to reach in each of these sections once you start giving your mocks. But today let's first try to understand what is our syllabus, क्या क्या पढ़ना है, कैसे पढ़ना है और क्या नहीं पढ़ना है. ठीक है, so let's talk about the major changes which are there in your quants section. Okay, firstly, 48 questions has been reduced to 36 questions. What has been reduced? You will see the modules are divided into 3 modules only. We have number properties, which has your entire number systems, like fractions, decimals, HCF, LCM, all of these things, and also questions based on your calendars, logs, all of these things which are apart. So you should be ready that we are able to get these easy questions of number properties which is there. But at the same time, what is missing out is something like which are those complex remainder theorem, binary theorem, those kind of topics. So that can be easily skipped out. Okay, secondly, in arithmetic you have all the topics of arithmetic: time, speed, distance, time and work, partnership, ratios, averages, mixtures and allegations, because that's an application of averages. So for people, if you're thinking that कि यार mixtures and allegations explicitly is not written तो वो नहीं आएगा, that's not the case, because that is not a different topic altogether. That's an application of the concept of averages. So arithmetic is very essential, and algebra and probability, like your modern maths, is got a lot of weightage now. In fact, people who gave NMAT last year would know that there were a lot of questions of modern maths as compared to the previous years. Okay, so that's a very important thing. The most important thing to observe here is there is no geometry, mensuration, coordinate geometry. That's not there. You do not have trigonometry, you do not have surds and indices. So these are topics which kind of are very taxing. Similarly, set theory and Venn diagram is not there in quants. It's going to be there in your reasoning. We'll talk about the reasoning section also. So this makes very clear that now I cannot skip out. So, usually people tend to study only arithmetic and geometry, which is required for CAT, which works for CAT. But I would say, abhi start focusing on arithmetic, algebra, and probability. If not, the other complete algebra of numbers and all of them, if that's something which is confusing, then do algebra in this. If probability is not that good, to number properties and arithmetic kar lo. But if you are doing any two modules out of the three, you have to make sure your DIDS is very strong, because NMAT has sectional cutoffs. So please keep that in mind. Okay, now let's talk about what are the other things which are there. Quants and DI combined together is 36 questions. In DI, what is a new change is you are going to see the addition of having your caselets. This is something which used to come in CAT, your DI caselets. So that is going to be coming right now here. Rest are the regular data interpretation questions of tables, bar graphs, pie charts, line graphs, all of those basic data interpretation questions. But they will be calculation intensive. How? They have been over the years. If you look at the last 5 years of NMAT, I'm sure you would see that common observation. DI is very calculation intensive. So for this section of quants and DI to do well, your syllabus should be so thorough, your basic concepts should be so good that the time you will be able to manage onto it. Okay, if there are some particular topics which you think you are facing issues with, please do punch it on to the comment section. I'll be taking up specific videos on the approach towards all of these. In fact, all the CAT King students, you guys are going to be having like everyday classes which will take care of all of these concepts. So just make sure you do not miss out any of those live classes. Plus, don't skip out my NMAT Thursday sessions, which are your webinars for all the enrolled students of CAT King, which is going to be tonight at 9 p.m. So stay tuned and don't miss out on that. Great. Let's move to understanding the syllabus for the other sections. Now, if I look at verbal, in verbal, with the increase of the number of questions, you have an increase in the number of RCs. So as per the mocks, you have different types of RCs like argumentative, discursive, descriptive, analogy-based RCs, which is very important. And another major observation is vocabularies out. All your synonym, antonym, direct vocabulary questions, that's completely out. So vocab is going to come into RCs itself or in the form of analogies. And we see a lot of increment in the grammar based questions with the error identification, preposition, sentence completion, and idioms and phrases which is there. See, now the paper is moving towards the GMAT pattern. So direct vocab questions नहीं, वो simple, easy, close test passage आता था. 5 fill in the blanks वाला, छोटू सा blanks वाला जो 5 था, वो भी नहीं रहेगा. Direct, simple, fill in the blanks, 2 words, and all of them will come with the help of these prepositions and all of them. So verbal में, तो there's a huge increase in the pattern in terms of the GMAT style. क्वांट्स में सिलेबस कम हुआ है, वर्बल में आपका सिलेबस बढ़ गया है. सो मेक श्योर यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग ऑल ऑफ दिस. ओके, इफ गाइज हु हैव एक्सेस टू द डैशबोर्ड, सारे के सारे वीडियोस देख लो एंड डोंट स्किप एनी ऑफ राहुल सर्स वर्बल सेशंस. आपका सिर्फ वर्बल सेक्शन नहीं, बट इन फैक्ट ये जो लॉजिकल रीजनिंग सेक्शन है, इसका भी एक मेजर चंक व्हिच इज ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स, दिस इज वर्बल रीजनिंग. All of this will be sorted through your verbal sessions with Rahul sir, which are there. So don't skip any of these things. I hope you guys are with me. All right. Now let's talk about reasoning thoda sa in depth, because इसमें बहुत changes हुए हैं. You used to see a lot of easy questions like coding, decoding, direction sense, blood relations, mathematical operations. All of these, that weightage has gone to a very minuscule thing in other reasoning. पूरे पेपर में इसके सिर्फ 2 से 3 questions were there in the official mock. Majority of the questions were from this critical reasoning and deductions. In fact, you can say 15, that's 50% of the paper of reasoning is dominated by this verbal reasoning. So you have to make this your strong area by doing facts, inference, judgment, these kind of questions. Typical GMAT wala strengthening and weakening the argument questions. Then you have this interesting concept, which again is very familiar to GMAT people. Explain the paradox, parallel the reasoning, all of these. And then comes our deduction based questions, which are statement and conclusion, course of action. Course of action matlab what will be the next immediate step which you're going to do, what is the assumption which is pre-existing before. So I will be taking up specific sessions on NMAT Thursdays along with what you do on your verbal sessions with Rahul sir to master this, because this is going to be a deal breaker, क्योंकि एक और किसी एग्जाम में नहीं आता है, राइट? सो अगर कैट की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो और ये सब नहीं कर रहे हो तो हमारा लाइफ is going to be a hell when it comes to NMAT. So you have to study extra for it. In fact, your syllabus has a lot of changes. So make sure you are preparing specifically for it. All right. Input output, again, it's there 1 to 2 sets like how it has always been. These are very time consuming questions, so make sure you are studying this. Decision making, a easier version of what comes in ZAT will be seen out here in your NMAT sessions as well also. So this is your entire reasoning, so it's like more of verbal reasoning plus analytical reasoning. So this, let's make sure we are focusing on all of these things. So thoda sa you have to pull up your strategy of your preparations to make sure you cover the entire syllabus up. All right. Now, what I'll do is, let me quickly summarize all the things which are removed, what is not going to be there. This is very important कि ये आपने पहले पढ़ा था, अब ये नहीं है. क्या है all of those things? Quants में we have modern maths में से आपका क्या out हुआ है? Modern maths में से we have removed our set theory. ठीक है, सेट थ्योरी आउट हो गया है. सो नाउ वी विल नॉट बी हैविंग वेन डायग्राम बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस कमिंग इनटू आवर क्वांट्स. ओके, we will be having no geometry based questions, मतलब पूरा circles, triangles, lines, coordinate, mensuration, all of this is out, right? Logical reasoning में we don't have direct questions coming from all of these simple topics, but I would still suggest पढ़ लेना. एक क्वेश्चन अगर आ भी गया ना, ये बहुत इजी होते हैं, they are very easy to score, तो पढ़ लेना एक बारी, ठीक है? वर्बल में डायरेक्टली जो वोकैबुलरी के क्वेश्चंस आते थे, सिनोनिम्स, एंटोनिम्स, ऑड वन आउट, वो नहीं आएंगे, एंड क्लोज पैसेज क्वेश्चंस नहीं आएंगे, ठीक है? So this is a quick summary of our entire syllabus. I hope all of you guys have made your notes. If not, please watch the video once again. Do make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and don't skip any of these NMAT videos. And for people who really want to make it to NMIMS and crack NMAT, I'll be starting with the NMAT Thursday sessions every Thursday. It's 9 p.m., which is there. So you guys can get on board the same thing. Check out one of these coupons to get 50% off, and let's make sure that NMAT is something which we are clearing for sure this year. All right, all the best, stay tuned and take care.